Elon Musk just admitted something that should terrify every American automaker, and Tesla shareholders are pretending they didn't hear it. In January 2024, Tesla CEO Elon Musk warned that Chinese electric vehicle makers are set to demolish global competitors without new trade barriers or tariffs on their products. His exact words, "If there are no trade barriers established, they will pretty much demolish most other car companies in the world. They're extremely good." This wasn't a competitor talking trash. This was Musk, the guy who once dismissed BYD as irrelevant, admitting that Chinese EV companies are existentially dangerous to Tesla. And the numbers prove he was right to be terrified. Tesla delivered 1.63 million vehicles globally in 2025, a 9% fall from 1.79 million in 2024. China's BYD reported sales of more than 2.26 million battery electric vehicles during the year. BYD didn't just beat Tesla, they demolished them. And now, with Chinese EVs potentially entering America in 2026, Tesla is facing the fight of its life. Before we reveal exactly why Tesla is terrified, what's really happening in China right now, the price gap that makes American EVs look like a scam, and why Elon Musk's own words prove Tesla can't compete, subscribe now. Because this is the beginning of the end for American EV dominance. The collapse Tesla doesn't want you to see. Let's start with what's happening in China, Tesla's second largest market and the place where the future of EVs is being decided right now. Tesla's domestic sales in China crashed 45% year-over-year in January 2026, falling to just 18,485 units, the lowest level in over 3 years. 45% in 1 year. But it gets worse. 2025 was the first year Tesla experienced a year-over-year decline in domestic retail sales in China. Full-year retail sales fell 4.78% to 625,698 units, while Tesla's share of China's NEV market dropped from 10% to 8%. Think about that. Tesla went from commanding 16% of China's EV market in 2020 to just 8% in 2025. The U.S. automakers' Chinese EV market share shrank to 3.2% in October from 8.7% in September, and the decline is accelerating. From 2024 to 2025, it was down 7%. This isn't a temporary slump. This is structural collapse. Tesla is being systematically destroyed in the world's largest EV market. So what's killing Tesla in China? One word: value. Chinese car manufacturers were the most competitive and will have significant success outside of China, depending on what kind of tariffs or trade barriers are established, Musk admitted. Let's compare what you actually get for your money. BYD Seal versus Tesla Model 3. The BYD Seal Premium starts around $31,000 in Australia and Europe, while the Tesla Model 3 RWD costs $38,990 in the US. That's an $8,000 difference. And for that $8,000 less, BYD gives you heated and ventilated front seats, a head-up display, and power-folding mirrors, all standard equipment. Tesla charges extra for most of these features. The BYD Seal offers 323 miles WLTP versus the Model 3's 272 miles EPA. Similar real-world range for $8,000 less. But the real killer is at the entry level. The entry-level BYD EV now starts at under $10,000 in China. Tesla's Model 3, its cheapest model, costs 3 times more at $32,000. 3 times more, for a car with fewer standard features. BYD launched a new electric sedan with roughly the same specs as a Tesla Model 3 for half the price. The new Chinese EV comes with BYD's smart driving tech and gets over 330 miles of driving range, starting at $16,500. Half the price. Same range. Smart driving technology included. Tesla can't compete with that, and Musk knows it. But the price advantage isn't just aggressive pricing, it's structural. Chinese companies own their entire supply chain in ways Tesla never will. BYD has a massive advantage: vertical integration. Its subsidiary FinDreams Battery manufactures cells in-house, and according to UBS analysis, 75% of a BYD Seal's components are made in-house, versus 46% for a China-made Tesla Model 3. 75% in-house versus 46%. That's not a minor advantage. That's complete control over costs, quality and production speed. BYD doesn't buy batteries, they make them. They don't buy semiconductors, they design and manufacture their own. They control everything from raw materials to final assembly. Tesla, they're an assembly company. They buy batteries from Panasonic and CATL. They buy chips from suppliers. They're dependent on external companies for their most critical components, and that dependency shows in the numbers. BYD reported $107 billion in revenue for 2024, crossing the $100 billion level for the first time and besting Tesla's annual revenue by about $10 billion. BYD makes more revenue than Tesla, sells more cars than Tesla, and does it all at lower prices with higher margins. But Tesla's real problem isn't just Chinese competition. It's that Tesla stopped innovating. The Chinese EV market is a bloodbath right now. It is easily the most competitive auto market on the planet. While Tesla is relying on the Model 3 and Model Y, great cars that are getting long in the tooth, domestic rivals are flooding the market with fresh models every few months. The Model 3 launched in 2017, the Model Y in 2020. Tesla is selling 5-year-old and 7-year-old designs in a market where competitors release new models quarterly, and the competition is brutal. Xiaomi's SU7 outsold the Tesla Model 3 in China for the first time, delivering 258,164 units in 2025, nearly 30% more than the Model 3. Xiaomi, a phone company, outsold Tesla in China with their first car. In June 2025, Xiaomi received 200,000 pre-orders for its YU7 sport utility vehicle in just 3 minutes after bookings opened. Such frenzy over a new EV was unprecedented in China, where monthly sales of 10,000 units for a single model is typically considered a success. 200,000 orders in 3 minutes. For a car from a company that made phones last year, that's the competition Tesla is facing. And Tesla has no answer. Tesla knows they're in trouble, and they're throwing everything at the problem. On January 6, 2026, Tesla launched its 7-year ultra-low interest plan, with down payments for the Model 3 and Y starting at 79,900 yuan, an annual rate of 0.98%, and monthly payments as low as 1,918 yuan. 7-year financing. At under 1% interest, Tesla is basically giving away money to move cars. Tesla's share of China's NEV market fell to 8% in 2025 from 10% in 2024. And that's despite Tesla responding with aggressive promotions, 0% financing offers, a first-of-its-kind 7-year ultra-low-interest financing program at 0.5%, and RMB 8,000 insurance subsidies on the Model 3, record discounts, interest-free loans, insurance subsidies, and sales are still collapsing because the problem isn't financing, it's that Chinese EVs are fundamentally better value. And no amount of financial engineering changes that. What happens when Chinese EVs enter America? Now imagine what happens if these companies enter the American market. Currently, the US imposes a 25% levy on imported Chinese cars on top of a general 2.5% tariff on all auto imports. That's the only thing protecting Tesla. But those tariffs might not last forever. Trump has floated deals with Chinese manufacturers. Let China come in if they build US factories and hire American workers. And BYD is already preparing. BYD is expanding at a staggering pace. By end of 2026, it will operate factories in Thailand, Hungary, Turkey, Indonesia, Brazil, Uzbekistan, and Cambodia. Once BYD has factories outside China, their cars can potentially enter the US under different trade rules. And when that happens, Tesla is finished. Because American consumers will see what Chinese buyers already know. You can get more features, better value, and similar performance for 30 to 50% less money. A standard Tesla Model 3 starts at roughly 41,000 euros, while comparable Chinese models such as the BYD Dolphin begin at around 35,500 euros. The Dolphin Surf is listed in many European countries from about 22,990 euros. In Europe, where Chinese EVs face a 27% tariff, BYD is still dramatically cheaper than Tesla, and BYD claimed the top spot in EV sales in Europe in April 2025, surpassing Tesla for the first time. Even with massive tariffs, BYD is beating Tesla in Europe. What happens when they enter America? The brutal truth is that Tesla can't compete on the metrics that matter. Price? Chinese EVs are 30 to 50% cheaper. Features? BYD includes head-up displays, ventilated seats, and 360 cameras as standard. Tesla charges extra. Production capacity? BYD sold about 1.7 million battery electric vehicles in 2024 and around 2.25 million in 2025. They have more manufacturing capacity than Tesla. Model variety? With 4 brands, BYD, Denza Premium, Yangwang Luxury, Fang Qingbao Off-Road, and over 30 models, BYD covers every market segment. Tesla has 5 models total. Innovation speed? Chinese companies release new models every few months. Tesla hasn't launched a truly new vehicle platform since the Model Y in 2020. The only advantages Tesla has left are the supercharger network, brand prestige in Western markets, and full self-driving technology. But charging networks are rapidly standardizing. Brand prestige evaporates when competitors offer similar products for half the price. And FSD is years behind Waymo in actual autonomous capability. But don't take my word for it, listen to Musk himself. Our observation is generally that Chinese car companies are the most competitive car companies in the world. So I think they will have significant success outside of China, depending on what kind of tariffs or trade barriers are established. Frankly, I think if there are not trade barriers established, they will pretty much demolish most other car companies in the world. They're extremely good. Read that again. Musk admitted Chinese companies will demolish most other car companies in the world without tariffs. Most other car companies includes Tesla. Musk knows his own company can't compete on a level playing field. And this wasn't a one-time slip. In 2023, Musk said, "If I were to guess, it would probably be some company out of China as the most likely to be second to Tesla." Second to Tesla. That was his best-case scenario. And even that proved optimistic. BYD is now first. Tesla is second. So what happens next? Tesla will continue losing market share in China. Their sales will keep declining as Chinese competitors release better products at lower prices. Tesla will try to defend American and European markets with the supercharger network and brand loyalty. But those advantages are temporary. Chinese manufacturers will build factories in Mexico, Europe, and Southeast Asia to bypass tariffs. They'll enter Western markets with prices American companies can't match. And eventually, American consumers will ask the obvious question, why am I paying $40,000 for a Tesla when I can get a BYD with more features for $25,000? Tesla's only hope is that tariffs stay in place forever, that American politicians protect them from competition indefinitely, that consumers never get to see how much better and cheaper Chinese EVs are. But that's not a business strategy. That's hoping the government saves you from free market competition. And it won't work forever. Because as Musk himself admitted, Chinese EV companies are extremely good. Good enough to demolish global competitors. Good enough to take over the world's largest EV market. Good enough to beat Tesla at Tesla's own game. The question isn't whether Chinese EVs will reshape the global auto industry. They already have. BYD is the world's largest EV seller. Chinese brands dominate their home market. They're expanding into Europe, Asia, and Latin America. The question is, how long can tariffs protect Tesla from companies that make better products for less money? And based on Tesla's collapsing sales in China, plummeting market share, and desperate financing offers, the answer is clear: not much longer. Tesla revealed why they're terrified of Chinese EVs coming to America. Because everything Elon Musk said about Chinese companies demolishing competitors is already happening, and Tesla is losing. Stay tuned.